And we're back.
We're so
for-
back.
I think it's episode 7, but we've had several aborted attempts
Several months off.
that I'm not entirely sure. But let's call it 7 for the sake of argument.
I'll look it up when I make the thumbnail.
If the title says something else, just ignore us.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to... We're so back. Seasons are on.
This is going to be good.
It's all happening. So...
You have missed up
Yeah.
with what? Signings. I don't remember. This is old news because we're like weeks into the season. But yeah, let's talk about signings. I can't remember the top of my head. It's been ages. It's been ages. I think Brighton made really good ones. Tottenham has made some
We'll
signings.
get into that later.
Manchester City have made at least one signing that's worked quite well for them.
They made a few good signings, yeah. They're now like Japan FC. They brought in like 2 or 3 more Japanese players. So, but Arsenal have had some good signings. New goalie. Where is it? Kafaji, Mariona Caldenti from Barca. They've been all really good so far.
Just remembered we need to sit up straight.
I'm fine.
I need to sit up straight because I look like very out of shape when I lean back.
Oh, you're first.
The gut mate, now it's very embarrassing. I get self-conscious when I have to edit it. What were we saying?
But yeah, Arsenal's new signings have been good when they are being used well,
Yeah,
which we will get into later. But yeah, and then Tottenham.
Tottenham.
Heartbreaking day for me, guys.
Yeah, I remember. A lot of silly baiting on the timeline that day.
Not just from me.
No,
Let's not get this
From-
twisted.
from everyone, especially the privates, but some publicly. Which I get. It's not ideal. I think we both wanted her back in England,
Just like
somewhere where she'd get play time. But you know, I was hoping Liverpool.
yeah, Liverpool or go anywhere else. But yeah, just makes it like it's a bit harder to support because it's just like pure hate watch.
She could score, just not against us.
Yeah,
And not so much that they'd become a threat.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen anytime soon. Although the way we're going, maybe Tottenham will be a threat. Maybe we'll be like down on their level. Like within like, a month.
But like, it is good for her. I think it's like Arsenal bias aside. I think it's a good spot for her. She's started every WSL game and
Being more objective,
yeah,
it's a good team for her to be. It's
Yes.
a good place for her to be in. Where
it's kind of like a developing side. Like Tottenham made a shitload of signings this break because they lost a lot of people.
Yeah.
So
That's why I put them. Put them fourth on my prediction. I don't think that's going to happen. I think I was being a bit
probably United still in forward.
optimistic, but they've made good signings. They're on the way up.
Yeah.
We're on the way down
Yay.
at this rate.
Yay.
Try not to be too pessimistic here, because you
Oh,
Give me a
they
hard
need to. No.
do.
I know I do, but we're at Arsenal to get this shit together. There is some. We need to pull our head out a bit.
I was just gonna say, oh yeah, who does me head in?
Who does your head in?
Well, a lot of people.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait, hold on. This wasn't a Rasa thing. It wasn't. I'm sorry, it wasn't Rasa fans. It was Miedema fans.
Oh yeah, go move on.
Like, I don't know, in my opinion, like, I don't care when people stan players.
Well, you
If I-
can't if you're friends with me.
It's exactly if I like, if I was like, player FC bad, this, that, and the other, team only. I would not like interact with anyone online.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit gatekeepy. I'm not much for standing myself. I think you can stand too much, because what if someone who's your favorite turns out to be a horrible person? That's happened to me with like music quite a lot.
Yeah.
Made me a bit more averse to it, and it's, I say, it's kind of, in our society, it's kind of weird for a dude to stan, especially my age, especially players who are like 20, which makes me feel really.
No,
good
you're a
about
Charlie Grant stan. Don't even lie. You're a Charlie Grant stan.
do like Charlie. Don't have any of her gear.
I'll get you a Tottenham shirt.
Not a Tottenham shirt, a Tilda shirt. I don't know where I was going with that. I think I was somehow linking it to the Medium fans who are like,
It's kind of like, I get, you can still like a player when they've, moved on from your club.
right, because you're doing the same thing with a Tottenham player, but it's the ones who are like,
Well, I think
still like die-hard Medium fans.
I think it's slightly different in the sense of like, I became a fan of Rasso through the national team. She plays for Australia, so there's like a more.
Yeah.
And what's the point of saying?
The national team.
Yeah, I started liking Rasso through the national team, so there was like more of a natural sort of, like I can not support her when she's playing for club, but I can still support her when she's playing.
Yeah.
But
country of a club, right? In my opinion.
At the end of the day, I think, a lot of people will disagree with that opinion.
Yeah. Like,
but I also think country rivalries are less deep than club ones. So
I think in soccer, especially like Woso. Do we say Woso as a word? I never figured out.
Yeah, you can.
It sounds weird saying it out loud.
But
maybe like I disagree if it was cricket.
Yeah, no. I think there's no harm in, like I watch the Lionesses play sometimes, and I don't think there's any harm in.
Yeah, I like Lionesses.
Watching another country, maybe
second favorite.
Supporting another, like when the Olympics happened, like obviously couldn't support Australia anymore, so had to pick someone else to like follow and someone else's games to watch.
So maybe if you're Dutch, gives you more of an excuse to stand me.
But a lot of these Miedema stands do not seem to be Dutch. They seem to be English. But what was your point going to be about the annoying Miedema fan?
I think that was just it. I think my point was just the existence of it. I don't even think this is that many people. It's probably not many people. We're probably ranting.
It's like a
about, like,
loud minority.
people.
But I have seen some takes in like with Arsenal's thing, like being like, it's because they got rid of Miedema. I'm like, this would probably still be happening if we kept Miedema.
Definitely didn't help, but
it didn't help.
She wasn't single-handedly carrying.
Because she wasn't getting that many minutes.
Right, because she would have had an injury
yeah.
at the start.
And like she's doing well at City, but just people make everything about her.
Yeah, Arsenal's issues are like a lot deeper.
Yeah.
Just one.
And there was all the discourse about when they played Man City at Emirates, like people being like, yes, we should cheer for Miedema or whatever. No, we shouldn't. Like it was argument.
No.
I think from my experience in like supporting a player when they've left the club, right? Like my experience is from AFL, so it purely depends with the fans on how they've exited the club. I think Miedema did it in a very gracious way, so I don't think there's any like hatred from Arsenal. Like it was a mutual decision between her and the club. There's been, if it was like they were like, fuck you, I'm going to go find more money somewhere else, then they will get booed, like.
Yeah. Definitely, because you say mutual decision, but she got shafted, didn't she?
Well, I think in the end she said that she also wanted to move on.
Yeah, she wanted to move on because she was being shafted by Jonas.
Yeah.
Allegedly. It's
Mhm.
like, allegedly, according to some Dutch newspaper.
Yeah.
With an anonymous source. But if the anonymous source is saying, like, Jonas is a piece of work and, like, not a very nice person to be around, I'm inclined to believe it,
Mm-hmm.
generally.
Yeah. But I think, but she still had a very gracious exit, and even in like her post after the game at the Emirates, she was like very gracious.
Mm.
So it's not like they go, you know, fuck you, I'm off. Like that's when
Who did she score against? When, well, like, who was it?
yeah. But I think there's and also but obviously there's no bad blood, but doesn't mean we have to be like fans. And doesn't mean we have to, you know, buy City shirts. Like you know, you can support someone from afar and wish best for them without like being weird about it.
What about the one who's now an Arsenal fan and a Tottenham fan? May or may not be a troll. I don't know if they're a troll. That's iconic. That's up there in iconic also tweets. It might not have been a tweet. It's up there with,
I think it was a TikTok comment.
yeah, it's up there with Katie McCunt. The, like, you know.
Well, I did on that. I did hear a funny story from she was saying, so the Rasso sighting news dropped like at the when everyone was at the Perth Football Cup, so they could see in the crowd people like fucking tweaking around the ground because there was a shitload of Arsenal fans. But like she was saying, there was like a kid behind her. She probably would have been like early teens sort of thing, like crying, being like, "I'm an Arsenal fan. Do I like switch now?"
Not an opinion I'd express out loud. It's a chip. It's a child.
Funny, but no, everyone was like tweaking across the ground, also making eye contact throughout the stadium. Like, I was just alone in my house tweaking. Like,
I don't remember where I was.
I think you were also at home. It was on a random like Friday evening.
I guess. I wasn't as invested as you. I was disappointed she didn't end up in a team that isn't Tottenham. But, you know, I wasn't the one.
Yes.
I can't say that.
What? What can't you say?
I can't say it. I can't.
Because of woke?
Sad tweeting on
Oh.
the internet.
You said it earlier.
I was going to say something more graphic, but...
Oh. WSL so far.
What about it?
Well, we're 3 games in?
Yeah, okay. You never did predictions.
I never
We're
did
3 weeks
predictions.
in, so let's just, off the top of your head, let's just do...
Yours was like written out and you had time to think about it. You're
Yeah.
putting me on the spot here.
Let's just do top 4 and relegation battle. Let's do relegation battle.
Relegation battle. Okay.
I say relegation battle
Here's
in
the
inverted
tea.
commas, 'cause-
Here's the tea, right? Palace beat Leicester.
and we couldn't. Or no, we did. We did.
Yeah, we did. It was
did.
just 1-0.
1-0,
Incredibly boring.
and Palace,
It was like 3-0 or something.
yeah,
I
put more behind Leicester than we did.
no, it's
And Leicester lost like 7-0 to Chelsea. So Palace.
no Palace lost. So I think the battle is going to be Palace and Leicester, and I think I have to see more to be like which way it's going to go. But currently, being like Palace has lost 2 games.
Then if
I don't think Leicester's won.
If you see more, it's no longer a prediction.
But
It's like
well,
an educated
my
guess.
prediction is the relegation battle is between Palace and Leicester, and my prediction is it could go either way.
Yeah,
And to determine that further, I would need to see more.
yeah.
Because I don't think Leicester's won a game, and Palace have won 1.
Yeah.
So even if both teams lose everything else, if Palace can beat Leicester twice and Leicester can't win anything, then Leicester will get relegated. Like, that's how the math works.
Yeah. Eventually, say winner goes to...
Like, I want to say City, but my gut is still saying Chelsea.
Yeah, same.
I think I want City because I want someone different.
Yeah.
And I want Chelsea to be like, I want downfall of Chelsea to exist.
No.
Because I want to be like, you lost Emma Hayes and now you're flops.
I'm indifferent because I don't like the Chelsea dominance, but I probably like City less. Not because of anyone on the ground, because of like the management.
Yeah.
And also, whatever happens in the Premier League will have an effect on WSL. If they get done, if the Premier League team gets done, it will have a massive indirect effect, because it will be like their funding will get cut.
Yeah.
If they get penalised in the Premier League, the money will come from the WSL.
Yeah.
So on one hand, I would love for the Premier League team to get done because of how crooked they are, but then also aware that probably will have a knock-on effect on the WSL team, which is unfortunate for them. It's unfortunate for like players from both teams, because it's like, it's not the players doing anything wrong, it's the management for the Premier League team, and it's going to be everyone.
Because like I like
support staff, you know.
Yeah, I like quite a lot of the players on the Man City team. It makes it hard to like dislike the team sometimes, I think.
I know what you mean.
Because
it's just like my hatred is for the institution.
Yeah.
Not like
the actual when the actual team rocks up, I'm like, these guys are fun, and they play good. They play well. So, but I haven't watched Chelsea play. I've watched City play.
I watched
twice now.
The Crystal Palace one. It
was just
insane. It was like,
it was just a bit rude.
A different league. There were, I think, the same vibe as that one Adelaide United game
that we went to,
where like you lose by so much, your mindset just like goes.
You're like you're just waiting for it to be over.
You know, there were like,
they can score 8 on you. 2-meter
gaps where a Chelsea forward would have a straight shot and there'd just be the biggest gap ever, no defense. They were like mentally like broken. At that point, I was sure there wouldn't be a relegation battle. It would just be Palace. But then, like, they bet Leicester pretty well. I didn't watch the highlights for that. I just say the word bet.
Yeah.
Goodness, I've been in this country for too long.
I hate it when people say that. I hate it when people say that. It doesn't make any sense. Anyway. What was I going to say? So, I've watched City play twice, because I watched them play Arsenal, and then I watched them play Brighton. And both games I looked a bit shaken. Like, the City game Arsenal game was a draw. Brighton game, they won 1-0.
That was a bit, you'd expect a bit more, but Brighton
are doing well. But they're not looking as strong as I kind of would expected them to be. But to be fair, I think last season
Chelsea,
they had a bit of a slow start, but then won that 14 games in a row. Really should have won, but you know. So yeah.
So if you're still saying probably Chelsea, I assume you're putting City second and us third, or is that too generous?
No,
the gap between third and fourth last year was huge.
Yeah, we pretty much could comfortably stay in third.
Until like the penultimate round,
Yeah.
it could have gone like 3 ways.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Like it was like dead ass, like right up until the end. Why did I say that? I'm gonna cut that out. It's really embarrassing that I just said that. I don't know why.
But I think, I still think Arsenal third. I feel like if they fuck up Champions League, which at this rate we will, it will make them pull their head out. I'm hoping that every shitty game is like, all right, this is going to be the wake up call. All right, this is going to be the wake up call. And I feel like 5-2 to Bayern, I'm like, hopefully that's the wake up call. But if anything, Chelsea this weekend will be a wake up call shortly.
Thrash. That I didn't see Bayern. You didn't text me, but for context, what day is it? The 10th? The 9th?
It's the 10th of October.
10th. So the Bayern game was this morning for us. I did set my alarm. I just woke up and it was the morning. I remember setting my alarm and then I'm told I just turned it off, turned the second one off and slept through it, and I have no recollection. I'm sort of glad I got a whole night's sleep because it doesn't sound like it was worth it. I didn't even watch the highlights, so like...
Everyone had a bit of a stinker.
I know nothing. I've just saw someone got a hat-trick.
Yeah, I mean...
I saw all the goals... Most of the goals were like in the second half.
It was to go from like 2-2 to then... Harder getting a hat trick in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, how did that?
Fucking hell, guys.
Was there
I'm gonna say something to wind you up.
Substitution?
I'm gonna say something to wind you up.
Oh, you're going.
I'm gonna say something to wind you up. Last 2 games that we had, Daphne.
The
clean sheets.
Past Manu.
Clean sheets, and Manu's back and conceded 5. I don't think it was Manu's fault. I just said that to wind you up.
You don't?
No. Well, it's obviously there's some element that it's Manu, but I think all of I hate looking at mob scores because people use them as the be all and end all of talking about a player. They'll use those scores instead of actually watching them play. But all of our defenders were a bit shit.
Yeah,
and like. Even when the whole Arsenal team is shit, Emily Fox will have a good game. She did not have a good game. She had a stinker, which was jarring to watch because I don't think I've ever seen her play badly.
That was the vibe I got the past 2 games where, how do you pronounce it, Van Domsler?
I think so. Dutch people help us out.
Is it I think Van Domsler. That's how I'm going to say it.
DVD.
I'm not going to use an acronym because when you use an acronym for someone's name, you're just outing yourself that you can't pronounce it. Because people who watch UFC do that as well.
It's just shorter and easy to say.
I think she did really well to get those 2 clean sheets. She did really well. In the the game against Leicester, I think...
Towards the end, it got a bit hairy there, didn't it? She had to make some really good saves.
She had made really good saves. She shouldn't have had to make any saves. I genuinely think against Leicester, they should have had 0 shots on target. They had some quite good shots on target. And I think that just speaks poorly of our defence doing nothing.
Yeah.
Letting Leicester get multiple off. I
think we've had a few injuries in our defence to start off the season because like Leah was out, Steph was out, Laura's out now. So it's like, because I'm under the thing of like I've watched Emily Fox play and like she didn't have an off season. She was playing basically full 90s at the Olympics. went all the way and played shitloads in a 2-week period.
Yeah.
And has gone straight back to playing full games with Arsenal. But there's no one else there's not really anyone to take her place.
Yeah. No.
Which is concerning. It's like, we don't want to overwork players, but what...
It's not a big enough team.
Yeah, what do we... Well, I think we have a big enough team necessarily. It's just like...
varied enough.
Not very enough, and there could be a bit of a skill gap.
Yeah, I know what you mean. When I was making my ACL video, I mapped all the games she did, because there was just before the Olympics, there were multiple friendlies in the United States.
Yeah, they did a bunch of send-offs.
She did all of them.
Mm-hmm. She was playing... I think she was up there with players for the US who played the most minutes at the Olympics, and players who played the most minutes at the Olympics generally. Had, 2 weeks off before joining Arsenal in the US. For pre-season, went straight back into it. So, it's concerning that, I don't know, they have such a packed schedule, which is generally a problem in women's football anyway.
Yeah.
But we're having to overwork people to fill positions.
Yeah, because old mate can't fill them properly.
Yeah.
Like, he seems to
and Caitlin Ford is fucking right back.
he seems to think that people are like robots or something. He just I don't know if he's how much worse he is at resting players than other WSL coaches.
Yeah.
Is it coach or manager? But yeah, no. He just
plays players out of position way too often. And Caitlin Ford can score 4 goals in a game. Let's put her at right back. We have people that can play right back.
Yeah.
We don't. In fact, we need Caitlin on the wing.
That's why he should practice on Ultimate Team. He put a player out.
Someone buy Jonas a copy of FIFA.
Put a player out of position on Ultimate Team.
It gets all pissy.
Yeah,
with you.
and it tells you.
It's like they're not gonna do this.
With the synergy is low, or whatever the word it
the
uses.
energy, or chemistry.
Chemistry,
yeah. That guy.
So I still think third. We come third. I'm gonna stick to that. I think we're gonna have to work for it.
It's not gonna be an easy third.
The big gap won't be between third and fourth like last year.
I would like to see.
It will be between second and third. Us.
I'd like to see Arsenal play Man United.
Because they came fourth.
And they've been playing well so far.
Yeah.
I don't know when that is.
Me neither. Not from my head.
I'm taking it week by week as it comes. Not Man United playing Tottenham this week. That's all I know.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think I'll watch it.
Champions League so far. Well, we
made it to the groups this year, so that's further than last year.
Yeah.
Actually, in it. 3 WSL teams are in it so far, which is more than last year.
Mm. And then we got thrashed straight away.
Oh my god.
But if we win the other 2...
Thing is, there's in the groups, the 2 best get through. So it's not about if we can beat the other 2 teams both times, we probably can still make it through.
Who else is in that group? Juventus?
Yeah, Juventus. Which won't be easy. And then a Norwegian team.
Yeah.
It's not easiest group, but it's definitely not the hardest.
Yeah, doable.
Yeah.
But it's such a bad start.
Well, I was going to say, Man City got the hardest group, but then they beat Barca, so... which is crazy upset.
Yeah, considering I don't think they've had the strongest...
I've already seen articles come out and say that the City-Barcelona game is a clear example of the gap in women's football is narrowing.
Yeah.
Because, Barcelona can not lose a game in Liga F. They can win Champions League, and now they're being challenged by a team that didn't even win the WSL.
Yeah. It's good because it's just they are just so crazy ahead of everyone else except maybe Lyon.
Yeah. So I'll be interested to see how Lyon does as well. Well, I think they'll do well, but when Lyon comes up against a WSL team, though I'm sure City will make it through to the. If they're going to beat Barca, they can beat anyone in their group. So City will probably make it through to the quarterfinals or whatever, and I'm sure they'll run into Lyon at some point.
There's a decent chance, I think.
Yeah. So, where are we going with?
I don't know. I don't really have much else to say.
I think it will be interesting, and I don't think it's seeing from the first week. I don't think it's going to be as clear cut as
I'm
Lyon and Barca. A lot of people think the final is actually going to be Chelsea and Barca.
Potentially.
Could be.
Yeah, I'm not the most cut up about it anyway because I don't care about Champions League as much as like WSL.
I mean, if Arsenal started doing well in it, then
true. If we were like
you get more investors.
Yeah.
Bested.
I guess that's why I wasn't dying to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch the Olympics because I sort of knew how it would go and it went exactly how I thought it would, so I didn't really waste time getting up. I didn't mean to watch last night though. Just slept through. It wasn't intentional.
I didn't really have anything to say about it.
That's fair.
It was just ignore that.
Noodle.
She can't have it. Anyway, well, you spoke about Olympics, so I think we can talk about Olympics now.
Olympics.
I think, all right,
the Olympics.
Retrospective. I have a retrospective opinion, right? Of obviously Matildas did not perform well.
Shouldn't pee on my back.
She's not going to pee on your back. Obviously, Matildas did not perform well, but in hindsight, the two of the teams in our group won medals, which shows that how hard it would have been to get out of our group. Yeah. The Zambia game should not have gone the way it should, but I think both US and Germany medalled. So
yeah,
it's
so long ago.
That was like the 5-4 one.
Or
come back from behind.
The Olympics.
So
what was I even doing? What month was it?
Late July? No. August? No. Late July.
Was I doing winter school?
Yeah, I think you were.
No, I was doing winter school when Copa America was on. And Euros, which I think was July. I don't know, man. That's my perception of time. It's completely shot, so I don't.
It doesn't matter. But I wrote down Drone Gate to talk about the Olympics. It was funny.
It was. That seems like old news.
I know, but yeah.
Did anything come of that?
Well, I don't think Canada's coach is going to come back.
Probably not.
She got a bunch of like the head coach and the assistant coach. They all kind of got suspended, and I think Canada got fined. So they'll probably look at, just getting rid of them. There's no real coming back from that. But I mean, they still managed to get through with having all their points taken away in the Olympics. So
yeah.
But I think it was fair that the players weren't necessarily penalised other than the points being taken away.
Yeah, because there was no
it wasn't their fault. And
Any idea?
I mean, they've all spoken out and said, like, we've actually never watched any drone footage. So
Yeah.
it might have just been you being used by management. So I think they should cop it and not them if, you know, what they're saying is true, that they've never seen any drone footage.
Mm. Yeah. If there's nothing to like indicate that guilt, innocent until proven guilty, right?
Yeah. Something. Anyway, let's talk about the Ninja A-League. Everyone's favourite A-League. Everyone's favourite league, sorry. It's coming back in November.
That's ages.
Not really, we're in October.
Dumb sponsor, sounds cringe, but you could do worse. You could
What,
do
McDonald's A-League or the Uber Eats A-League or
junk food or mining or
Combank A-League or the BHP A-League,
that wouldn't be
Emirates
ideal.
A-League.
But I guess there's no ethical sponsors. At the end of the day, you could probably find a lot of dodgy things about ninjas, blenders,
There's no ethical consumption under capitalism.
right? So yeah, you got to have someone, whatever.
At least someone's sponsoring it. If there was no sponsor, they might not be able to run the league.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. They can't make much money from ticket sales. Like some of these, you know, games, you have a whole team traveling 1,000 miles plus to play for 200 people. Not economical. So money's got to come from somewhere.
Yep.
But beyond that, I don't have that much to say about A-League because it hasn't started.
A-League predictions.
Melbourne or what's the other one that went for Sydney? Melbourne or Sydney?
Well, Adelaide United did lose a lot of players, but I think they've made some good signings. Like we just signed someone from the UK.
Yeah. We played a friendly. It was when I was camping.
Then we played a friendly in Mildura last week as well, and they won that.
Yeah.
So, against who was that against? It was against an A-League team.
Yeah. The one before that was as well, and we won that.
I mean, it's a good sign.
Yeah.
Wouldn't maybe not flop as hard, but
I've already committed and bought a membership, just a women's membership. So it's not like if they start poorly, then I'll give up and stop going to the games because I've already paid for all of them. So it's not like, oh, I'm going to save my money and not bother because they're doing poorly. Even if they do poorly, I'm still going to go to justify spending the money. And
nice day out.
Watch them get. It's not a nice day out when they lose 8-0.
Well, you could just, have a snack. Pretend it's fine. Everything's fine. Support women's sport.
Yeah, that's it. I don't think we'll come last.
I mean, we can only hope.
Surely not. It's not likely. It's like 1 in 12 chance we come last. I don't know. What else you got?
We also got Matilda's coach.
Do we have a coach?
We've got an interim coach. So we said goodbye to Tony G after the Olympics.
Wish we'd got someone like Klopp or someone, but he's got a job now.
Well,
and I think that would have been very unlikely with someone of his caliber.
Yeah. I think so. We've got an interim coach who is he was Western Sydney Wanderers women's coach, and he's like the longest serving Matilda's coach ever.
Yeah, he's I've never heard his name. I can spell it, but I genuinely cannot.
Yeah, right. I just forgotten his name.
Pronounce it.
So
because he's in like if you watch or read about like Matilda's from back along, he's always like he's very influential figure.
Longest serving
so I feel
coach
bad
they've
that
ever
I can't
had.
pronounce his name. Is this some Manny or something? Tom.
I don't actually remember it, so you can't check with me.
I don't know.
I think people are making this point where when looking for a permanent coach, we don't have to look inside of Australia. There's been names thrown out and they're all Australian. It's I think what's her name? Is it Casey Stoney, maybe? One of the NWSL teams recently got rid of their coach. I think she would be a good replacement. I think it would be good to have a woman as Matilda's coach.
Yeah, if there's one. Yeah, if there's one available.
Not the Canada coach.
Who?
We won't take her.
Who was doing United States before old mate? What about them? I don't know.
Some guy.
Clearly,
God, I feel uninformed.
I don't know. Clearly, they were good.
Yeah.
Any United States coach for the past 30 years.
Right? Yeah. I think. Well, there's good coaching, but a lot of that is the players in the United States are just, been more developed. They've had a better league for longer, so.
Yeah.
But coaching obviously is a big part of it. But yeah, what's Tony G retrospect?
Yeah. It's not that bad.
I think, looking back on it, I think he's a great person. He's a good leader, a good coach. He wasn't the best coach, but I think he was a really good positive influence on the Matildas. And I think a lot of what has determined their recent success, especially in the World Cup, has been their attitude and their kind of mindset. And I think he did a good job of helping to foster that.
Yeah.
There's he can't rotate players, and
Really.
some of his game plans were interesting. The game plan they took a new game plan to the Olympics and it just didn't work.
Yeah. That his plan at Adelaide was ropey. I know that was a friendly, but he had to make the worst play the only time we've seen them in person. And then ended up being boring. The actual match.
Yeah.
And then when they went to Sydney the week after, then he got his act together. And it was good.
Yeah.
But that's just me having a chip on my shoulder and feeling hard done by because I have to live in Adelaide.
But I think the friendlies coming up will be interesting for Matildas. Beginning a new era. It's a non-tournament year next year. So it'll be interesting to see what new people come into the team, because they did make a point when they're playing those 4 games in Australia during that one international break. The ones in Melbourne
crazy.
and the ones in Brisbane.
That's way too much, dude.
Smack bang in the middle of some WSL games.
Yeah.
So people are saying that, a lot of there's now 14 Matildas in the WSL.
They are asking to get their players injured.
Yeah, I think it'd be people are saying that hopefully it's new players will come in.
Yeah.
Will get rested. Obviously there's some people who have connections, so Hayley will start in the game in the Gold Coast. And
yeah.
The other Gold Coast players will as well. But I think hopefully having a sort of homegrown coach at the moment, he might bring newer players into the side, do a better job of resting people, sort of thing. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think the ones in Europe will just be let's see how the coach is going, what's going on, and then the ones in Australia will be more to look at players.
Yeah. I think Australia needs to step up, youth development. I think even coming I know we're not rated very high, but even that 4th that we got, that was punching up.
Yeah.
Like we're going up against countries where football is religion, you know?
Yeah.
And even like it's not so popular because it's women, but the development is still years ahead. And then there's the United States who generally don't care about soccer unless it's women. And really good.
The women's league's bigger than the men's.
And then in the whole of Europe, football is just massive generally. And then there's us, where it's like rinky dink.
Well, it's like all of these top countries pretty much will all have some kind of professional women's league, which is an issue. And now they're pushing for A League to go pro by, well, all of the players want it to go pro by 2026.
Yeah.
I think 2030 at like, you know, furthest goal.
Yeah, because they love jobs. And then we hemorrhage talent. I mean, they're still Australians, but then it makes the A-League boring because
they all have to go elsewhere.
The Matildas don't play here.
Yeah, I mean, 14 Matildas in England. It's like, but yeah, it would have been the same case when they all started going to America. But at the same time, they would play America and then they'd come back and play a bit of the A-League season back when it was like the W League. Or whatever.
Yeah. The one I got that awkward picture with.
Emily Van Egg one.
Yeah, she did that last year, right?
Yeah, she did. She did a few games
for Diego, but then she
came back and did a few games for Newcastle.
Yeah,
her dad coaches Newcastle.
Dapper.
But yeah, no, it is possible. They just don't like doing it as much, I think. Well, it's like the ones who have moved to the WSL say they prefer having like an off season rather than just playing all year.
Oh, hell yeah. You're supposed to, the union says they're supposed to get a month off. Like 28 days. Nothing. A lot of them do not.
I think Emily Fox got mandated 2 weeks. I think they have, if you've gotten towards the Olympic final, you have to have 2 weeks off. And I think she had like exactly that before returning to Arsenal.
That's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick.
Yeah, maybe it was a week off. I don't know, but it was like
still a far cry from 28 days.
Yeah.
A lot of them do not. Maybe I'll write about it. I enjoyed that. When I made my ACL video.
Go watch his ACL video, by the way.
They watched my ACL. You didn't even watch my ACL video.
I watched it multiple times.
I don't think you did. Do you know how I know?
How?
Because I mentioned a Twitter profile at the end. No one I'm following is following it. And I feel
I watched it, but I didn't go and follow it.
If you watched till the end and saw that bit, you would have been like, I'm going to go follow that because I think that ACLs are an important
No, I think
issue.
I saw it and I thought, I'll go follow it. And then I didn't do it in the moment and I forgot.
Is that so?
Yeah, because I do remember you talking about that.
It's a good page.
Okay, I will go follow it now.
It's depressing.
Shout them out now then.
Shouting. I think the handle is...
Right.
I don't remember the handle.
Okay.
It's not really a shout out if no one's going to watch this.
Go watch Isaac's ACL video.
I
watched it all the way through because I picked out typos. Excuse me.
I don't want to use the word shout out if it's someone who has a bigger following than I do, which is everybody. Because that just makes me sound egotistical.
Yeah, but no, go watch his ACL video. It's good.
Yeah, maybe I'll write about workload. I did mention it. I had a segment. Yeah, you watched it.
Yeah,
it was fun. I liked researching it. I liked
Well, it's a public health issue. It's up your alley.
Yeah,
But no, workload would be good to write about because you scratched the surface of workload, but you can go so much more into it. It's been an issue for years, basically.
It was a cohort study, and it was like the association between games played with like up to 5 days break, and then you see this association with injuries. So no, it is interesting. It's not, I don't have a background in physiology, but like a lot of the research I understand.
Yeah.
I guess I'm probably more likely to come at it from like a socio-cultural angle, because I think a lot of it is like just caused by like cultural factors
Yeah.
that are like way upstream, the things that you can't change very easily, which is a bit depressing. You sound a bit like a naysayer if you say like, oh, it's just a cultural thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The same if you're making like a biological argument, like it's just biology, it's always going to happen, which that might be a factor. Like if women's soccer had been professional for 100 years and it was the same level as men's in terms of like skill, you still may see more injuries among women.
Yeah.
But it would be like a fraction of what it is now. Dude. Like,
yeah,
there's been like 4 ACLs in the WSL this year.
Well, I think they said every WSL match day there's been an ACL.
Yeah, and 2 last week. I don't know if you've seen the 4th. It was a Liverpool player against Tottenham.
I heard about it, but I didn't actually see it.
They only just confirmed it like yesterday.
Yeah, I saw that it happened, but I didn't see like.
Yeah, they confirmed that yesterday.
The video.
So,
yeah.
There's 4 in 3 weeks, which is mad. It's very
big issue. Go watch his video to find out more.
You should.
It was good. It's good.
It flopped. No one. It's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. I get that to everyone who's not me, it's hard to make it engaging. I tried not to go on about like p-value too much. Despite
get that degree out.
But you have anything to add?
Have we talked about everything?
Yeah, there was some more stuff I put on my document, but I forgot about it.
We kind of talked about Arsenal being bad throughout.
Yeah.
I think we've been talking for an hour, so
yeah. I think I meant to mention their corner routine, but
I'm sure it won't stop, so we can talk about it another time.
What's there to say? It's a bad corner routine. Can't they just do what the men do?
No more short corners, please. We need whoever Arsenal men's set piece coach needs to come in.
Yeah.
So it's like no team needs to feel threatened when Arsenal has a set piece because we actually can't convert. So
it's so bad. For anywhere.
Good chat. We're back.
Yeah, we're back. Like the next time we talk won't be in like 6 months. Knowing us.
Hey,
we used to do this every 2 weeks.
Well, we can.
Where did we get the motivation?
We can do it every 2 weeks. What's stopping us?
Anyway, you have uni now. You didn't before.
True, but I don't have that much uni. Uni's over in 3 weeks.
True. Yeah.
2 weeks.
I don't have any exams. So everything.
Neither.
All of my stuff is due, like, last thing I think is due November 1st.
Yeah, I've got like early November is my last thing, but
yeah. Okay. See you.
Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.